Hey everybody, GP with another EFT video. And this one I got from a friend of mine down in New Zealand who wanted me to do some EFT about trust. And obviously trust is a big deal. I mean, it's interesting because what we're really talking about is trusting that my life is going to be better. A lot of us are actually in the habit of trusting that our life is going to be not so good. Right? When that happens, and it happens, very early in life, we get a sense of the nervous system goes into a defensive posture. So it doesn't really trust what's happening out there because it doesn't feel safe. And when it's in that posture, of course, it makes sense. And if you are struggling with trusting, especially if you're struggling with trusting in things that you can't see, like, making manifestations happen in your life or opportunities that you want to have, stuff that appears to be out of your control, and you want to have a trust that life is benevolent and is going to be bringing it to you. That's all coming from a defensive posture that was adopted when you were very, very young, and that you had to. I want you to understand this. These defensive postures, a lack of trust, is something that gets instilled in us very early. Very early, before we can think, before we can even speak, before we can discriminate and say that's not such a good idea, the nervous system just picks up that this is not an environment that's trustworthy. And if you really were in an environment that wasn't trustworthy, it was the right assessment. And so it put together patterns of behavior and response to make sure that you survived. And it worked because you're here now as an adult watching this video. So it did what it did. But the thing is, it gets stuck there. This is the whole, it's such a simple thing. This is a brilliant mechanism, but it easily gets stuck in a particular pattern. Because once it sees what's going on in the environment, and it knows how to respond to it, it implements it as automatic responses. So you don't have to think about it all. Boom, it's just in the system. You just respond. So I'm going to do some EFT now. We're going to go through a bit of this and try to kind of get us to a place. Really, the way I use EFT, this is Master Heart EFT, which is a little different than others. My job here is to liberate the energy. Basically, all I'm doing is communicating to your nervous system that it is safe. And if it gets the message that it's safe, it will automatically drop the defensive behavior because it's all a response to its assumption that the environment is dangerous. That's why it can happen so fast. That's why the results are so fast. And EFT is brilliant at that, because it reaches the autonomic nervous system. And when you're tapping on these different parts of the body, it's literally communicating to the body that it's safe, that it's okay. And it goes to the limbic brain. It doesn't go to the neocortex or the reptilian stem. It goes to the mammalian brain, which responds very much to touch. So enough chatter. Let's actually do it now. So, even though I don't trust, even though I don't know how to trust, I wish I could trust, but I can't. I have to see it. I just can't trust. I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though somehow my trust got crippled. I want to trust, but I just can't. I deeply and profoundly love and accept everything I'm going through. So even though somehow I got stuck in this position, stuck in this untrusting defense, I totally love and accept myself anyway. And I totally honor that this is what had to happen. Taps to the points. I don't trust. It's a fact. I can't trust. The world isn't trustworthy. It's dangerous out there. It always has been. It always will be. Nothing I can do about that. This trust is actually smart. This is the right posture to be in. I mean, if the world's really dangerous, if life isn't benevolent, I shouldn't trust in it. It's the smart thing to do. It's the protective thing to do. No wonder I'm doing it. My nervous system behaved perfectly. Absolutely did the right thing. and has been keeping me safe from this malevolent environment, from all of the danger. And I'm so grateful to it. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for being so loyal. But you know, the environment's changed. It was like that before, but maybe it's not like that anymore. I mean, it's easy to get stuck in a position, get stuck in an assumption. What if that assumption isn't true? What if it's more benevolent out there than I thought? Boy, I certainly would like to come off of my defensive posture. I certainly would like to get off duty for a little bit. I certainly would like to experience more of the blessings of life, more abundance, more wealth, more intimacy. It seems too dangerous to be intimate, dangerous to be wealthy. You know, people can't be trusted. But what if they can? What if I could clearly discern between those who are trustworthy and those who aren't? What if I knew? What if I knew deep in my heart? I wonder if my system can sense that. I'll bet it can. I'm certainly open to finding out. So I'm going to allow my nervous system to open up just a little bit. Not too much, because if you can't trust, don't want it. But if I can, and I can discern who I can trust, what I can trust, where I can trust, I certainly want that in my life. So I'm inviting the nervous system to just momentarily go off duty. Look around and see. If it's too dangerous, you just shut me down again. That's fine. That's your job. But if it's not, maybe we can open up and have a much bigger life. Be both safe and free at the same time. What a wonder that would be. Trusting only where trust is due and safe simultaneously. I know you can do this. I know you can make this happen. I know you can discern wisely. Because that's what you do. And you're so good at it. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you. I love you. Okay. Take a deep breath. Wow. Just let that sink in. Right? We're just communicating. You know, we get stuck in a posture. And the inner reconciliation is not self-help. I'm not trying to force any kind of change to make. It's not psychological. It's not therapeutic in the sense that it's not trying to bring about some kind of result. It's not trying to measure that way. The only thing I'm trying to do is communicate to your own energy system when it's safe, so that it can tell the difference of when it's safe and when it isn't. It's that simple. And when it's safe, your nervous system, the whole energy system, your body, your mind, your heart, everything just springs into into self-expression. But if it's in a defensive posture, it's just going to have to shut everything down. Of course it's going to have to. That's the way it works. We're just working with the natural energy of the system itself. So I hope you enjoyed that EFT. A little longer intro than I normally do, but I hope it's good for you. So this is GP. Until later, namaste.